Welcome. In this brief demonstration of MassPAT, the proprietary system called PMP Aware, we will show you how to create your account as a delegate user authorized by a Massachusetts prescriber or pharmacist who is a primary account holder in the system. A delegate account authorizes you, the delegate, to run searches in the PMP system on behalf of the primary account holder. This authorization assumes your appropriate use of this system that provides access to sensitive information on personal medical histories. Keep in mind that your authorizing supervisor is responsible for monitoring use of the system and has capabilities with his or her account for reviewing all patient searches. To start the account registration process, go to the MassPAT login page and select the Create an Account link next to the Login button. Before you do this, it is recommended that you review the general FAQs about the system behind the Help link on this page. Here on the Create an Account page, start by entering your professional email address, which will function as the username for your account login. Setting up the registration based on your professional email address is important for ensuring that you, as an end user, will receive any system-generated notifications. Next, enter a password for your account. As you start entering your password, a pop-up will open listing the requirements for creating an acceptably strong account password. Enter your password again in the password confirmation field, where a green check symbol will appear when confirmed. Now select the Save and Continue button to proceed. Here on the User Roles page, select the Healthcare Professional category link from the short list displayed, which will open an expanded list of specific user roles for you to select from. From this expanded list, it's important that you select the most appropriate role for establishing the correct access rights for your account. For this demo, we will select Prescriber Delegate Unlicensed. Next, select the Save and Continue button to go to the next step in the process. This registration process page presents a two-section form for capturing your personal and employer information. Notice first the green pop-up message is alerting you that the system has sent you an email to the professional email address you entered as your username on the previous page. Remember to go back to that email at some point and select the link in the message area to verify your email address. In the Personal section at the top of the form, fill in the required form fields as indicated by a red asterisk and complete the other fields in this section as applicable. For this demo, we will focus on the required fields. Input your name to the respective fields. Be sure not to include any title or affiliation text in the name fields, only your name. Then input your date of birth in the required format. For instance, you must enter the / between the month, day, and year. Complete this section of the form by entering your primary phone number. Before moving on, review the information you entered to the Personal section of the form to ensure that all required fields have been completed correctly and that you have addressed any field validation issues. For the Employer section of the form, again provide input to the required fields indicated by the red asterisks and to the other fields as applicable. For this demo, we will complete only the required fields. Review the information entered in the Employer section of the form. Now, the next to the last step for completing your delegate account request submission is the item at the bottom of the form. In order to obtain authorization of your delegate account request, you will need to enter the professional email address of the Massachusetts primary account holder that the system should notify. Then select the adjacent Add button. When the prescriber or pharmacist email address you entered is recognized by the system, summary information about the primary account holder, who will be notified for your account authorization, will display immediately below. If adding more than one primary account holder for request approval, use the Add button next to the input field. Okay, that essentially completes the input requirements for your delegate account request, which you can now submit by selecting the Submit Your Registration button at the bottom of the form. When submitted, a pop-up notification is displayed indicating that your account request requires approval. Selecting the Continue button advances you to your user dashboard, although you will not have patient search functionality just yet. The primary account holder, or primary account holders, as the case may be, will be notified of your request for a delegate account. Once the primary account holder approves your account, you will receive an email notification, and you will then be able to conduct searches on your primary account holder's behalf. However, if you are pre-registering during the brief period before the search system is fully launched, you will not be able to conduct patient searches during that time, in which case we'd want to double-check for status information under Announcements on the right-hand side of your dashboard. Okay, let's advance to your user dashboard. Well, not before we complete one last step. Here on the Security Question Setup page, you will need to answer the 3 security questions presented in the drop-down list. These are required in case the system needs to authenticate your login at some point in the future. So let's respond to those. Okay, now select the Save and Continue button to proceed to your user dashboard while your request is awaiting approval. This concludes this demonstration. You should now be able to create your prescriber or pharmacist-based delegate user account in MassPAT. Should you need assistance in using the system, call the APRIS Help Desk phone number that appears at the top right of every page of the system.